If you're interested in Frank Zappa's testimony at the PMRC, which was the Senate committee, which talked about the lyrical content of music that I talk about in this video that's coming, Frank released an album called Congress Shall Make No Law. That is what it is called. It came out in 2010. It contains Frank's complete testimony from September 19th, 1985. So if you want to hear what Frank said at these hearings, you can go, I'm pretty sure it's streaming on all services, but it's called Congress Shall Make No Law, put out by the ZFT. So check that out if you want to know more about what Frank did politically and try to save music. All right, bye. Hello, welcome back. My name is Shaggy, the opinionated hippie, currently ranking and reviewing every single Frank Zappa album released while he was alive, and we are currently at number 49. Frank Zappa meets the mothers of prevention. This album came out in 1985, at the end of 85. And the title of the album comes from the fact that in the mid-80s, a bunch of senators and congressmen's wives decided to hold a bunch of hearings to look into the lyrical content of music. Censorship came up, and how to deal with the fact that there was sex and drugs and violence in lyrics. It was corrupting our youth. And three musicians, only three, showed up to sort of defend the rights for musicians to be musicians. Dee Snider of Twisted Sister, John Denver of 70s soft rock and Muppet guest appearance fame, and Frank Zappa. And so this album, the title comes from that. There's two tracks on here directly inspired by that, and one named after that, one actually including content of that. And then in Frank's later years, quite recently, the ZFT released a CD called Congress Shall Make No Laws, maybe Shall Make No Law, which included all of Frank's actual testimony here. I'm going to discuss that later when I do the post FZ releases. But anyways, there's like three songs on here I really, really like. The reason I have mixtapes and mixed CDs and playlists is to put these three songs on there. And the other stuff is just kind of forgettable. A lot of synclavier pieces, synclavier. The synclavier was a programmable synthesizer that Frank used a lot in the 80s. Entire albums devoted to that. A lot of live samples in the 88 stuff. You can hear all those weird noises on the 88 shows are from that. So there's a lot of material on here that's synclavier based, and this is the weakest of all of them, I think. I just don't think any of the songs on here stand out at all. So anyways, I'm going to review the CD. The album release had fewer tracks and was in a different order. I think the CD order for how bad this album is even works better. It makes it a little better, even though it adds some stuff that's not that good. So anyways, the CD, which is only on the CD, this song starts off with I Don't Even Care. And I want to apologize to No Not Now, because a couple of videos ago I said that No Not Now off Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch might be the most forgettable song in Frank's repertoire. I was wrong. And the reason I was wrong is because I completely forgot about I Don't Even Care, because this is the most forgettable song in Frank Zappa's repertoire. It is just, again, Johnny Guitar Watson is doing the vocals, and he's criminally underused or misused. He's kind of just improvising lyrics over a kind of bland riff. Frank does noodling, closest thing to noodling. It's not soloing, it's just noises. It's not a good song. It's 4.5 minutes of just wasted time, in my estimation. If you like that song, tell me why I should like it. Defend I Don't Even Care. Horrible way to kick off the album, and it's not on the original album. So Frank decided to make this one worse. That's followed by three utterly forgettable synclavier pieces. Just kind of bright, happy, poppy, and fake, artificial sounding music. I like electronic music. I'm a huge Animal Collective fan. You want to hear like electronics and synthesizers and keyboards used well, go listen to their last live album, which came out, I think, last year. Phenomenal album. But these three, One Man, One Vote, Little Beige Sambo, and Aerobics and Bondage, just forgettable. Can't say I like them. Then we're followed by We're Turning Again. This is one of Frank's, I'm going to reference, it's a straightforward song, probably the most straightforward song on here. It's probably one of those where Frank goes, I'm going to say Jim Morrison, and then we're going to play Light My Fire. I'm going to say Mama Cass, and then we're going to do a Monday reference. Thursday, Friday. Oh, look how we did that. We changed it. it's just, I don't know. And also, I don't know if he's attacking 60s. It's about essentially the 60s generation of musicians and comparing them to current musicians, but it sounds like he's attacking everybody, and it just sounds, I'm not sure of what the attitude is in the song. It's one of those, I'm like, do you hate these people, Frank? Do you like them? Apparently he's trying to like say the 60s was good and the 80s is bad, but it also feels like he's saying the 60s is bad. So I don't know. It's a weird lyrical message. Musically, it's kind of interesting, but ultimately it's kind of a fun live song, but it's not something I'm going to go to this album to listen to. That's followed by Alien Orifice, an instrumental, one of those early 80s, really weird, crazy, fast-paced instrumentals where Mars and Man and Vi just kind of get to strut their stuff. Amazing guitar solo in here. Every Alien Orifice has really good guitar solos. They're relatively short in like the span of Frank's career, but they hit hard, they're great. Unfortunately, there's a couple on Halloween 81 which are better than this, so you kind of don't need to go here anymore because of Halloween 81. There's an Alien Orifice on You Can't Do That on Stage 6. There's a horn one on Make a Jazz Noise Here. But this is still a great song, and if you're going to listen to this album, this is easily one of the highlights. That's followed by Yo Cats, a song Zappa co-wrote with Tommy Mars. It's both synclavier and live musicians. It's about studio musicians. Musically, it's really kind of interesting. It's got a very late night lounge, cheesy organ vibe. You know, you can almost, it's kind of smarmy and kind of just, sleazy. But the lyrics are bad. They're just, again, attacking people, and it's just a bunch of in-jokes about studio musicians, and it's just, it's not a good song. The payoff is horrible. That's followed by What's New in Baltimore, the instrumental version, no lyrics. One of Frank's greatest solos on here. You get the intro, which is about a minute and a half, 2 minutes of those labyrinthy type runs that Vi and Mars and Man were doing in those 80s compositions, followed by what feels like a patriotic guitar solo, an uplifting, almost like stereotypical rock guitar solo that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And some of the runs that Frank does on here kind of don't sound like other type of runs he would do in his solos during any era. It just has a feel unlike any Frank Zappa guitar solo. And it's worth checking out this album to hear this version, because this version sounds different than any other release version of this song anywhere. This is the best version of this, What's New in Baltimore. That's followed by Porn Wars. Porn Wars is a 12-minute sound collage, essentially, that includes testimony of Frank's and other senators on Congress during the PMRC hearings, the ones in where they were checking the lyrics and music, Lumpy Gravy excerpts, the people in the piano, synclavier pieces. All of this is kind of created on the synclavier. Ike Willis shows up as using the voice of the character whose name I will not say, and he does this stuff over an amazing rock vamp, which includes some really good guitar work that's not noodling. And this sort of sound collage of all these things creates one of Frank's most unique pieces, one of his best pieces. I go back and listen to this kind of frequently because it's just a fun listen. It's not music, but it is music. It's literally, reminds me of Negative Land. I don't know if anybody out there heard Negative Land from like the late 80s, early 90s, but they produced sound collages. They had that big U2 thing that they did with the band U2, which they took one of their songs and kind of remixed it in a whole bunch of different ways. And people thought it was U2 because they put U2 really big on the album cover and not their name. But anyways, this is a sound collage like that, and it's a really, really interesting listen. And Frank kind of pokes fun at himself. He allows some of the senators to get the jokes, out of things they really said. It's just a really interesting piece it's worth checking this album out because of Porn Wars and because of What's New in Baltimore. And then it closes with HR 2911, which was the House resolution, which, addressed all of these issues. I don't know what the actual resolution was. I'm sorry. But anyways, that's a synclavier piece too, and again, utterly forgettable. But anyways, it's not a very strong album, but it's got 3 amazing pieces: Alien Orifice, What's New in Baltimore, and not what, yeah, Alien Orifice, What's New in Baltimore, and Porn Wars. It is worth checking out just for those three things. If you like the synclavier work, tell me why these are good synclavier pieces, because I don't think they are. They bore me, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. Other than that, it's utterly forgettable. Yeah. So anyways, that's it, man. That's number 49. Frank Zappa Meets the Mothers of Prevention. Check it out. Check out 3 of the songs. Let me know what you think in the comments below, all that stuff. We're almost done with this project. That's crazy. All right.